Chevy, did you have a bug happen yesterday too, or no?
What? What do you mean? Did I have a... What, did the
Anything
game
during the
delete my
quest?
whole goddamn base?
Well, besides that, we'll get to your update in just a sec.
Um,
Yesterday.
so, no, I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't think so.
Wild Appalachia. Besides the new quest, they tell you, begin the quest line by finding and reading one of the party invitation posters. So you can find these in the atomic shop. You start in that by purchasing one of these, placing them at your base, and then for me, I guess it was in the Mothman poster area. So be sure to look for that. Or you can go to Frat House to start the mission itself. And they say, it's going to be available till April 9th. Says party invitation posters are all available for free until, April 9th. So once claimed, you can place in your poster and start the quest. Talk about the new crafting system, brewing and distilling. I'm talking about, making wine, spirits, beers, mixed drinks that will temporarily apply positive and negative effects while consumed. So far, Nukashine's OP. Then we have, it says several brewing and distilling daily and weekly challenges have also been added. Yesterday I screwed up. I didn't drink, I think it was 25 alcoholic beverages. I think I had 14. So sold myself short on that. So today we're getting wasted. New daily quests, brewing and distilling it says it. Once per day, after you've completed the Wasted on Nukashine questline, you can speak to Biv to continue experimentation and occasionally learn new recipes. Sometimes you'll be asked to imbibe various types of alcohol and perform specific tasks. Other times, you'll learn a new recipe and will need to craft the brew to Biv's satisfaction. Especially if things take a while to ferment on their own time. It's going to be interesting. So I guess I'll try to check that out, but I'm scared if there's as many glitches associated with this new quest line. I don't know. Or a little like mini quest. Then they talk about the parade that's coming out next week. 19th to the 26th, travel to the town of Helvetia to aid the local Protectrons as they prepare for the parade. Guide the bots to the end of their parade route to claim new loot, which may include new camp plans, and gain a chance to earn a fantastic mask. There are many of these masks up for grabs, and some are exceedingly rare. Trade with your friends to acquire any particular mask that catches your eye. And they also say, check out their other articles to check out more about that. And then they talk about server maintenance, the atomic shop appearance being updated. So change appearance. Players can now preview atomic shop items while navigating the in-game change appearance menu. So you can actually, I guess, get a little bit more information. So they, don't get yelled at for like, oh, I didn't know what I was getting. I want my refund. Workbenches. Players can now also preview atomic shop items such as paints, headwear, and outfits from the list of craftable items that appear after entering a workbench. So that's going to be cool. And it says additionally, a toggle has been added that the player can use to show or hide unknown atomic shop items in a workbench's craftable item list. So if you're like me and you hate seeing like notifications or something that you don't plan on getting, I guess you can hide them. Balance changes, big thing that made me make a new character. Energy weapons, the amount of condition damage heavy energy weapons takes per shot has been greatly reduced, and they should now last 4 to 5 times longer before needing repairs. So they are much more viable now. Energy weapons, the amount of condition damage semi-auto energy weapons takes per shot has been reduced by half. They should last twice as long before needing repairs, so that's good too. Energy weapons have received a base damage for semi-auto weapons increase of 10%. Heavy weapons, high rate of fire automatic heavy weapons have had their fire rates reduced across the board as well, so that's good. Their weapon damage has been increased by 10% to maintain the original damage per second. So that's good. They're keeping things pretty balanced and considering not making things too OP. Heavy weapons, weapon damage. For all other automatic heavy weapons has been increased by 10% to 20%. They're starting to nerf up, or sorry, instead of nerfing down, they're starting to buff up, which is going to help them a ton in the long run. Heavy weapons, the amount of condition damage automatic ballistic heavy weapons takes per shot has been reduced by 75%. That's great. That's going to last so much longer. And they're saying, you know, we hope to make this more viable for people, and they're going to work on the weight in some time, but they need to, you know, round about a lot of different things before they even do that. And they talk about flux. Different types of flux have had their weights and sell values adjusted. For stable, raw, and inert, it says stable base value increased to 100 caps. Raw flux base value reduced to 10 caps. And then inert flux weight reduced to 0.2 pounds. Base value reduced to 0 caps and can no longer be sold to vendors. So they're not saying anything about it not being, what, 25% water or 30%, whatever it is. But inert flux weight reduced to 0.2 pounds. Base value reduced to 0 caps, so they're worthless to sell, and can no longer be sold to vendors. So it's like the ability that it's 0, you're not going to sell it to them anyway, I guess. So that's, I guess, interesting. So you got to sell it before it becomes inert. Just sell a ton of raw flux. I mean, it makes sense. It's like it takes what, 10 raw flux to make one stable. Okay, so one raw flux is 10. Then you need stable. You need other materials. People are just gonna keep collecting raw flux to sell, as opposed to making it to sell, unless they sell it to players for more. It actually says different types of flux have had their weights and sell values adjusted. The only one that mentions weight is the inert flux. So I'm not sure if this is applying to all of them or just the inert flux, so we'll see. Then camp, crafting, and workshops. Some budget adjustments. We noticed that we went from like a 75% budget to like less than half or something like that. A lot of people are seeing similar results and can now place more turrets and lights because of it. So that's good, even with the cap. And the AFK timer, the timer that disconnects players after a period of inactivity is now 25% longer when sleeping or sitting. So I guess that's interesting. I don't know who's like, alright, I'll be back longer. I'm going to sleep until I'm back. So I guess that gives you a little bit more AFK if you just legit go AFK sitting or sleeping. Now the carry weight limit, this is going to be interesting. A new destroy option will now appear in place of the drop option when a player who has exceeded the absolute maximum weight limit of 1,500 pounds, plus the character's current carry weight, views items in their inventory. And then it says, selecting this option will destroy the selected item. This can be repeated with additional items until the player's total weight meets or falls below the absolute limit. While below the absolute weight limit, items can no longer be dropped, traded, or consumed. They can only be kept or destroyed. And then as a dev note, as part of our ongoing quest to improve the game's overall economy, performance, and address items created as a result of exploitive use, we decided to implement a destroy option for players who have surpassed the absolute weight limit. This should also help reduce cases of excessive item hoarding, as well as prevent duped items from being dropped and making their way into unsuspecting players' hands. So from here on out, they're like, alright, well, if you have way too much, guess what? You're not going to be able to drop it, scrap it. There's no, like, trading between, you know, your friends until, I guess, you hit the absolute limit. But realistically, I don't know, they have to do more than that. Somebody's just going to keep duping under that limit, if that's the case. And then the user interface, the challenge tracking, that's really cool. You get to track your challenges. What else we have? Player reporting system, so now you have a little bit more options to report players if need be. The main menu, the background video that plays while viewing the main menu has been updated with a new Wild Appalachia themed video. Yeah, so as we waited for the servers to come up yesterday, we just watched that and stared at that and kind of started speculating on, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. They talk about chat volume settings, a slider that's being implemented, and world radio setting. A new world radio slider has been added to the audio settings menu and can be adjusted to increase or decrease the volume of all in-world radios. The existing radio volume slider has been renamed Pip-Boy Radio, and both settings can be adjusted independently of one another. And they also go down to talk about, bug fixes, performance and stability, arts and graphics that I'm going to keep working on, C.A.M.P crafting another workshop, upgrades, list kind of goes on, and a bunch of stuff that they fixed. In terms of exploits, they fixed quite a few exploits, causing things to be duplicated when moving bases, or just unintentional or intentional stuff, it seems like. So they're working on a lot of stuff. Challenges, they also fixed apparently a few things. All that will be linked as well for people to check out. They've fixed a lot of exploits. Supposedly, but I think there's still a lot out there. But it's going to be a good year. It's going to be a real good year of content. From their roadmap, you can see a lot of what's coming out. And then your base issue, unfortunately. You want to talk about breaking down that?
I mean, I'd moved my base a couple of times throughout the day yesterday, and it was just fine. And then once I placed the fermenter, I logged out with a bunch of stuff in, like 30 bottles of crap in the fermenter. And when I logged back in, the game was like, oh, hey, whatever that message, the new message is, not the, another player is basically built on your location. So I just clicked OK. I was like, whatever, I'll move it again and everything will be fine. And then it just deleted it. It's nowhere to be found. So I'm assuming that it probably has something to do with that fermenter once again. Let's test it out, buddy. Go put down a fermenter in your base, fill it full of beer, log out, log in, and then see if it gives you the message to delete your base. Come on, buddy. Let's do it.